Hello everybody, welcome back to Memory on Farming Simulator 25. So we are just away to nip up to the water buy point up here next to the bridge, so we can get our open air gardens running, get some water in. So unfortunately the water does cost us a little bit of money here. I may look at putting in water tower near the yard in the future, so the water doesn't cost us anything, especially if we do go for bigger greenhouses. Not a very big tank, 6,000 litres. So that's also upgradable in the future. But yeah, most of our fields are pretty much there. We still have one that we may look at ploughing. We can upgrade the case tractor for horsepower, so we can get a sort of semi-decent plough. So we will probably head over to the shop at the beginning of next month and have a look at upgrades to the engine, and also a plough, whether we're going to buy one or lease one, and to see if we can do a couple of contracts, get a bit of extra cash coming in. I still can't really decide whether to sell the forage wagon or not. We don't really have enough grass fields at the moment to really warrant having it, because we've only got the one grass field until the others grow, and will probably be spring, I would think. So we can't really get cows yet. So whether we sell that, and if we need it in the future, lease one in to do our grass work. If required. Or do we get a wrapper and just do some silage bales, which I think probably be the cheaper option. Same, we now have our own baler. So we'll get another load of water here. Yeah, we definitely need to plough up most of our fields. We didn't do them planting in the last episode. We do have one, as I said. We'll get that ploughed up. Do you have a nice modded plough on, Cavernland Ecomat, with a roller, so it will roll, make a seed bed rolling in the stones, so we shouldn't have to collect them. Yeah, her chicken seem to have escaped from their enclosure there. Yeah, hopefully this should. And one more load of water, I think, just to fill that one up. A shame that little well there doesn't work. Definitely a torrent of water coming down those waterfalls over there. hopefully this will be the last load for now. It sounded like an electric car going past there. Yeah, we'll get this load in and then we'll skip through into November, I think. It's always a bit slow, especially this style where you're using small base equipment. Always a bit of a slow start, especially when it's small fields on the map. Trying not to rush through it too quickly, but trying to keep giving us enough to do without going repetitive on contracts. So we will leave that one there. Switch the tractor off and let's go in and see. So we are going to try some chilies, I think, because I've never done those before. So chili paper running and storing. And that one's going to constantly fill the water out of the tank while it's sitting there. So, fingers crossed. We'll get plenty chilies out of those. Right, I think we will move into the next date. Next month. See how we're getting on. So we still have plenty of food. We should hopefully get some more chickens next month according to that there. We don't have many eggs, they do seem to be a bit slow, but we do only have 20 chickens, so let's have a look and see, do we have any chilies coming through yet? Well, they're certainly growing. Don't have any pallets of them coming through yet. So, anyway, we will head over to the shop. We'll just have a quick look and see contracts we have. So there is a ploughing contract. And it is not far from the shop. So we'll go over there, see if we can get a plough and accept that contract, do that field, and hopefully do our own at the same time. So we've set work away, we've just leased the plough. We have not gone for the biggest engine. 260, it does go up to 300. But we've leased out the biggest plough. And we've taken on that contract. We've sent the worker away on that. So we are going to look at doing another contract. So do we still have some solid fertiliser left? And we might do some fertiliser contracts. We do. Fill that up. Right. Let's do 17. Let's do one's over by the shop, and 75's right up the top. So yeah, we'll do all those. We'll get a bit of income back in after spending that money on an upgrade. Don't turn the automatic application rate down. And we'll go and have a look at a couple of different areas of the map.
For
cultivating contracts finished. Our fertilising contracts finished. The case is getting on ploughing field 69. It's at 48%. So, but we'll go in. We will collect our money from fertilising. There's a nice little wee income boost, especially after spending money on upgrading the case. Excuse me. So a couple of fields we haven't been to. Definitely an area of the map I haven't been to up here. We will head back down to the yard and try and move on to something else. Definitely look at getting a chainsaw, possibly try and clear some of the trees around about some of our fields if it allows us to cut them, if they're on our ground. Or we could possibly do another couple of contracts. But we'll go back to the yard, we'll have a look. There's a huge forest area to the back of the farm. I would say that it's going to be well out of our reach for purchasing. That's for sure. But we may be able to chop down some of the trees around the edge of the field. I just think we could look at getting sheep to put into the small grass field that we sown, or goats. Possibly do goats for goat's milk, and then once we have cows, doing cattle milk and placing a dairy down somewhere and working with both goat's milk and cow's milk. We'll drop this back in here. So there's a few trees there that I think will be on our side of our property. I'll just put the last of the ferret back in there. Drop that off. I'll have a quick look at contracts and see what we've got. We're limited with horsepower, we're using the Sammy, but so we could take on a couple of baling contracts. Now where's 138 in comparison to us here? Down the bottom there. Soybeans. Why are we baling soybeans? Soybean straw. They want square bales. 80 want round bales. So we could do some baling. Do have a couple of cultivating contracts. That one's quite close by. A few liming contracts. Mowing contracts. We do have the baler, so it's a long way away. And that one's on the other side of the river. What decisions? Yeah, I think we will get the pickup and look at cutting down a couple of these trees. Now, do we have a chainsaw? We don't. So, I do have a sawmill mod installed. Not really sure where to put this down. So, we'll go with that. And let's cut down a couple of trees and get this going. Now, why is my chainsaw not working? Working now. So I don't really like doing logging. I'm not sure what's going on here with jumping around all over the place. But yeah, this industrial sawmill by Game Enjoy is quite quick at getting through, so I think we will make some wood beams, I think, as usually. Good way to go. So those two trees have given us a fair bit. We'll get rid of these stumps, I think. We do have lumberjack installed mod, so that is making life a little bit easier. Now, I know it may be a bit cheating using a bit of super strength and lumberjack mod. I don't like logging, but I do want to try and do a bit of everything. Not letting me pick that one up for some reason. I don't know why, and I don't know if anybody else gets the same issue with using a controller and it just randomly decides to look at the sky or ground. 18,000 litres, it's a good start for now. It does get really frustrating sometimes. It just decides to look wherever it wants. Whether it's something to do with the sensitivity of my controller or what, I'm not sure. But it does get a bit annoying, especially when you're trying to do something like that. So we'll see how this worker's getting on. It's getting there. Moving on to the headlands now. So I'm not sure if this little Sammy is going to be able to pull that cultivator to go and do a cultivating contract. Now let's have a look in our vehicles. So that's what we have. So it needs 150. And I think the Sammy has 130. 143, we'll give it a try. Have a look at some cultivating contracts. And we'll go for field 53, there should be a bridge down here, hopefully. So we'll crack on down here, we'll get this contract finished, this cultivating contract done, the ploughing done. We'll, in the case to come back and plough our own field. And we'll get a little bit more income from contracts as well as getting our own field ready for spring drilling.
Living on the highway, taking every turn. I've been on the road since I was 5. Sitting by my father for 1,000,000 miles, picking up old stories on the ride. I've been counting shadows to the beat of the radio. I feel like a baby when I sleep, and then you come to me. If we can keep the fire burning till I'm coming home, then maybe I won't have the need to let the engine run. 'Cause in the morning, in the night, maybe we can hold each other tight. We can keep the fire burning for a while, babe. Keep it wild. Every single coffee, every single break, every single moment I'm awake. Wanna play it open, wanna play it right. Don't want another storm to ride. I've been counting headlights to the beat of the radio. I feel like I wanna go to sleep, and then you come to me. If we can keep the fire burning till I'm coming home, then maybe I won't have the need to let the engine run. 'Cause in the morning, in the night, maybe we can hold each other tight. We can keep the fire burning for a while, babe. Keep it wild. Keep it wild. Keep the fire burning. Too many times I've been drifting away, like a shadow in the sun, hiding from the shifting of pale. Too many times I've been drifting away, like a shadow in the sun, hiding from the shifting of pale. Let's keep the fire burning, baby, till I'm coming home. Then maybe I won't have the need to let the engine run. 'Cause in the morning, in the night, maybe we can hold each other tight. We can keep the fire burning for a while, babe. Keep it wild. Too many times I've been drifting away, keep it like a shadow in the sun, hiding from the shifting of pale. Keep the fire burning.
We're getting there with the field now. Maybe about 3/4 of the way through ploughing this, and the Sammy is very close to completing that cultivating contract. It's not the most quickest of jobs, ploughing. Certainly not with conventional plough. A bit different if you were using the black sheep modding subsoiler plough, cheaty plough as we call it. And you're 9 meters and doing 15 mile an hour. I hope you're all enjoying the series. If you are, please don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. As always, there's a link to my Discord in the video description. Feel free to drop in, say hi. Yep, definitely a wet November, although it's still 21 degrees. Sammy must be very, very close to finished. We're missing a bit here. Which we definitely don't want to do. So, getting a few discounts now with contract fields for when we go to look to expand. We'll just go and sign this worker off. See where our way out is, over here. So I do have it in better contracts where the amount of field work we have to do is turned down, mainly due to precision farming with the yields and tram lines and things. So that's why it's finishing slightly earlier than you would expect. So we will collect that. It's another 3, nearly 4 grand. We shall another strip down the field here, and I think we'll call that video there. Yeah, thanks for watching. As I said, I hope you've enjoyed it. Done a few different bits and pieces today. And I'll see you all back again on Farming Simulator 25.